With every one of these operations we visit, there's a common theme: the goal of leaving the land better than they found it. Now we head to Region 3 to meet the winning family from Iowa.
A sea of grass covers the hills on the Rao Ranch in southern Iowa. Here, the grass and the Angus cattle are thriving as a result of the hard work of Glenn and Bev Rao, who built this operation together.
We first started this ranch down here, bought it in 1997. Originally bought 427 acres, and since then we've expanded to about 1,000 acres.
We're in good old Iowa tall grass hill country, and lots of grass out here this year because we've had a lot of rain.
We're in basically southern Iowa, right on the Madison-Union County line. It's rolling to gently sloping land, very marginal crop ground, good pasture ground, good hay ground. That's what we aim to do with it. It's mostly have hay and pasture use for it.
For nearly 3 decades, Glenn and Bev worked their 4th-generation family farm and feedlot in Dallas County, about 50 miles to the north. But as their sons returned home to take over the original family farm, Glenn and Bev founded this new cow-calf operation on land that was in dire need of attention.
There were a lot of cedar trees out here, a lot of junk trees, and we've cleared it and we've seeded, and the natural grasses or native grasses have come up through the seeding and stuff, and it's made a lot more pasture land for the cows out here.
When we bought the land, most of it was overrun with thistles and locust trees, cedar trees, very little grass on it. What grass there was fescue and everything. Part of it had been farmed for a year, had soybean stubble, which didn't amount to too much, and it actually made it a little easier to put new seed in. But it was a challenge. It's a challenge every day.
Glenn and Bev have met those challenges with action. They've been aggressive in spraying to eliminate thistles and other weeds in their pastures. They've continually reseeded to improve their grasses, and they've implemented a rotational grazing program managed with solar-powered electric fencing.
Our rotational grazing, I think, is just a tremendous benefit to the forage production of this part of the country because of the availability of something new for these cattle rather than be turned out in the whole pasture.
Key to the success of their grazing program is water. Working with the Natural Resources Conservation Service, Glenn has installed several miles of pipeline to bring clean, consistent rural water to the cattle.
He's seen a benefit in the rural water systems that provide a high-quality water source that's cool, it's algae-free, and it's pressurized, where he can place watering tanks throughout the pasture system without any concern for the system to be gravity fed.
Also, the rural water that we use has improved our conception rates and I think weaning weights, and also improved the body condition score of all our cows by helping have a little cleaner water.
Glenn and Bev have transformed nearly every acre of their land. They've planted hundreds of trees around their home and dedicated 40 acres as a wildlife refuge. While the vast majority of their land is in grass, about 250 acres grow no-till corn and soybeans, which the cattle graze in the fall after harvest. And they've fenced cattle out of the farm ponds and added wide buffer zones to filter water that flows to the creeks.
Water looks much better as it's leaving our land than when it came onto our land. And I think it's because of all the waterways that we've installed and keeping the cows out of the streams and out of the ponds and things like that, and I think it's improved it a lot.
With an eye for every detail, Glenn and Bev are passionate participants in the beef cattle industry, committing their life and legacy to a land they love.
This was our goal, and I guess we're living the dream now, and it's so great to have our sons and our daughter-in-laws and our grandchildren that all enjoy the livestock and the rural life and our lifestyles here.
My environmental legacy is we hope to leave it much better than we got it, and we hope that someone will carry on, hopefully our kids or grandkids, and keep cows out here instead of plowing it up and farming it again.
Our thoughts, Bev's and mine both, is that there's no question that you do the right thing. You know, if you've got a bad spot in a field or a bad fence or something like this, you fix it. You know, you don't just let it go, you just don't let it ride, you just don't think, oh, maybe tomorrow. you take care of it, and that's what we've tried to do. But it's also the way that a good steward would take care of the land and the cattle.